We have breaking news out of North Korea. Moments ago, Kim Jong-un boasting about a provocative new missile test. He says his country is bolstering its nuclear attack capability hour by hour. And our Brian Todd has just been looking at this new statement. Learning, Brian.
Well, Brianna, as you mentioned just moments ago, Kim Jong-un declared this test successful, said this was brought on by the U.S. nuclear threat and U.S. blackmail, and he said America is now within his striking range. North Korean media says Kim supervised the launch. Tonight, officials from Washington to Seoul are calling this a very dangerous development. Tonight, the undersea threat to the U.S. and its allies from Kim Jong-un is greater than it's ever been. South Korean and U.S. military officials say North Korea just test-fired a ballistic missile fired from a submarine that traveled about 300 miles, further than any missile Kim has ever fired from a sub. It landed in the Sea of Japan, inside Japan's zone for identifying threats from the air.
This system is now an imminent threat. North Korea could soon integrate a nuclear warhead onto this ballistic missile.
This new satellite photo from the Group 38 North shows the submarine at its dock with a crane over it just 48 hours before the test. Japan calls this launch reckless. U.S. officials call it provocative. Analysts say tonight North Korea is now capable of striking anywhere inside South Korea with a ballistic missile fired from a sub. Some 25,000 U.S. troops are also based on the peninsula. But the threat doesn't end there. Experts believe Kim's regime is trying to build bigger, quieter submarines that could travel further and go undetected.
They could potentially, within the next decade, develop submarines capable of transiting the Pacific Ocean within range sufficient to launch missile strikes against the United States.
It was only a few months ago that one of Kim's submarine-launched missile tests was thought by experts to have been staged, with missiles fired from an underwater barge, not a submarine, accompanied by pictures believed to have been doctored. Tonight, experts say Kim's just a couple of years away from having a fully operational sub-launched missile program. When he gets that capability, how does that change his behavior, his calculation against the United States?
They may feel more emboldened in conducting not only provocations, but actual attacks, perhaps tactical level, against South Korea, feeling that they have immunity from any kind of U.S. response.
The sub-missile test comes as American troops conduct massive exercises with their South Korean allies. Analysts say Kim's always believed these drills are practice for taking him out and targeting his nuclear program. He's responded by being brazenly aggressive.
With Kim Jong-un, we don't know as much about him as his father. We're uncertain if he understands the concept of red lines.
Now, how could the U.S. and its allies counter the new submarine missile threat from Kim Jong-un? One military analyst tells us that the allies are going to have to put more spy planes in the air, more ships and underwater sensors throughout the Pacific Ocean to try to detect and intercept those subs. It's going to be difficult, expensive, and could provoke China and Russia into being more aggressive in the Pacific.
And Brian, we are getting a better understanding of how much more aggressive he has been than his father, right?
Well, that's right. The Center for Strategic and International Studies has counted up all these missile tests, all the kinetic hits, and found that Kim averages about 9 tests a year of major weapon systems, of nuclear bombs, ballistic missiles like this one and the like. His father, Kim Jong-il, well, he averaged fewer than 3 of those tests a year. This young man, much more aggressive.
Very interesting. Brian Todd, thank you so much for that report.